Ready, John?
Ready.
It's my only habit. My only Hollywood story. And then we got you live. And then what's the date? 13th.
Yeah.
Hello world, hello world. I'm Jordan Bankxx. We back in the house today. Happy to be here. Happy to bring in some very, 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 very special guests. Of course, we're not gonna let y'all forget. We know some of y'all like to forget this holiday that's coming up. You know, we don't get a lot of recognition. I'm gonna play it one more time for us because we don't get no recognition, John. You know what I'm saying? Father's Day is coming up next week. Y'all got a week to go and prepare. I don't know why we don't get no hug like mothers do. I do a lot. I try to anyway. You know. I'm happy though. I'm happy on a lot of levels. We got my new co-host. She in the house today. She in the house. Savvy. Savvy is here. Savvy the model. She is here.
Hey y'all.
What's going on, Savvy? I see you out there in the internet world. You all over the place, all over the city, out of town, doing things. What's been going on with you?
I'm doing the norm, taking pictures, traveling, working.
Working. That's what's up. That's what you got to do. I got a special guest in the house. You know, we talking about Father's Day today, so we talking about fathers. So we had to bring in a father. We had to bring in my man here, John James. He's a father. We brought him in because he's a father with a lot of experience. He's a girl father, a boy father, stepkids.
Wow.
Assortment of the range.
Make me sound like a busy man.
And, you know, fatherhood is busy. You know,
That is true.
it's very busy. So we got him in. We're going to celebrate him. We're going to celebrate all fathers because we don't get a lot of recognition. Some of y'all don't deserve no recognition, though. I ain't going to lie. So I ain't going to front either. Because, you know, fatherhood could be good or bad depending on what position you want to take on it. Me, I didn't grow up with no father, but I ain't mad at it. I always had the stance that I could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
He could have been an old pimp and a hustler.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. He could have been an abuser, misuser, a child. I don't know.
Well, you just stay over there then.
Right. I don't have those traits. I didn't run, you know. I think it did, you know, I had to really embrace fatherhood because I didn't know how to be a dad.
Right.
I just knew that I couldn't run. I would never do that. So, you know, you got to embrace it as you get older. And fatherhood never stops. But we're going to dig into all that. We're going to get to John, his kids, that old family life, happy or not. But first, I got to get to my sponsors. Because, you know, they're going to be, them checks ain't coming right now. So, but anyway, that's what you do when you got a couple of sponsors. Ron Ron's Kitchen. For Soul Food Sundays that won't take your bank account under, call Ron. She got the kitchen. All you need is the appetite. Pick up or delivery, pre-order. Please call 314-497-1930. That's Ron's Kitchen. Also, Classy Custom Tees. If you have a t-shirt need, Classy Custom Tees has design indeed. You can hit them up for any and all designs. 314-299-7139. I always say if you mention Jordan Bankxx, you get 2% off your purchase. That's normally from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. So we got about 30 minutes. Okay, but also this week, y'all, there's a lot of things going on, but I always just pick a couple of things that's happening. Since it's Father's Day, I chose this one item to talk about because sometimes you were the person that had a father or not. Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion has an upcoming album. Tina Snow is back. Now we know Tina Snow is her alter ego. She said it herself. She described her alter ego as the gangster inside her, the part of her that don't give a fuck. I get it, I'm with it. I like Megan, I like a lot of her music. But you know, every time an album's released, people gotta come with some controversy. They say some things, do some things. So Megan came with a video to support that release. Thought she. I wasn't impressed with the video. I wasn't impressed with the song. I thought she could have did better. But the thing that really grabbed my attention was Megan said she's taking back the words thought and hope.
Okay.
I don't know how you take back thought and hope. It's a negative connotation. It's kind of like trying to take back slave. It's kind of meant to be negative.
So she's trying to change the definition.
How do you change the definition?
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can change going to the house. It's like, it is what it is. It's like, you just, I mean, that's what she is. That's what she is. Like, if you sleep with 80 men, you can't go back and say, I didn't sleep with them.
Right.
You know, if you're a thought and hope, I mean, okay, there's a lot of thoughts and hoes that make a lot of money, right? But I don't.
Hey, I'm a little old school, you know. I don't keep up with a lot of this stuff, but I do know thought and hope. I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You can't take that back, man. I'm sorry. I just don't want her telling young girls.
It's okay to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you can change the name of it.
Because I don't see me saying, here come Michelle Obama. Oh, come that hoe. It's not ever going to be cool for somebody to say, come this thought. Here come this hoe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how that could ever fit into the grand scheme of things.
I mean, especially with what we're talking about today.
I would say, yeah.
If somebody calling one of my 2 girls that, oh my God, I don't know what I did.
That be old.
I don't know how to react with that.
I don't know. I just can't these days.
But it's good to be talking about this today because parenting has a lot to do with how she's acting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never had a little girl, and God knows that you can and can't take.
Right.
I couldn't take it. But I always said if I had a daughter, you know what I would name her? I would name her. I hate to say it because somebody told me she's gonna be a stripper. Alexandria.
Princess Elizabeth.
Yeah.
She can make a lot of money off that name.
Really? Like her first name, Princess. They's like, no.
Bro, they told you she can make money off of it.
Right. You didn't want to say what kind of money.
I thought she was giving me.
Princess to the stage.
Right, I was with you off and say, really? My daughter could make. I don't want her to make that kind of money.
5 minutes of showtime. Hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want her to make that kind of money.
That's just like a regular name, like Princess.
Yes.
I mean, you got a lot of young females out there coming up that name is Princess, and honestly, like when a guy walks up to him and that's the first thing she says, it's Princess.
Mm-hmm.
2 things come to mind: either you don't want to give me your real name, or you are giving me your stage name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
what?
That's the 2 things that come to mind.
What's something wrong with me? Because I thought the first thing that come up is you treat me like royalty.
No, I mean, say you walking down the street and you want to meet a chick and she says her name is Princess. You're not automatically thinking that her mother gave her that name.
No,
her daddy gave it to her.
Well, you ain't thinking the daddy gave her
as
that
long as
name.
you just name her Queen.
That sounds good.
And straight to the point.
That is true, but I don't know. I would not
Queen
name.
Sugar.
I would not name.
Sugar. Queen, she gonna be on the stage most definitely. Queen Sugar.
Right.
Well, y'all wrong. That's my daughter.
Yeah, that sugar will take you in a whole different direction.
Queen, when you added the sugar, that's like, I'm up here, and the sugar's like, you going low now.
Right.
Yeah, I hurt my feelings. I just thought I have a princess with
You can nickname her Princess, the daddy's Princess, because that's what I do with my girls. But to name them Princess, I would do.
Do what Kanye do. North, south, east, and west.
Right.
Them kids gonna be so damn confused. Northwest, what?
Well,
Apple and can you imagine Blue Ivy?
Well, with Kanye kids, they ain't gonna be confused because of their names. It's a little bit.
his kids removed that. But anyway, Megan, she says she taking it back. I just hate that she taking that stand on it because ain't nothing good coming from that nigga. That's never gonna be acceptable. But anyway, I gotta remember that she's young also. She's still very young.
And very talented. She just don't know where to put it.
I think she has immense talent. She just don't know how to direct it. And that, she signed a Rockefeller now for management. So like somebody would say back then, that's
a certain way you gotta carry yourself. You graduate from a certain level.
Yeah, and she about to graduate from college, like she said, and everything. So she's smart, but you're not gonna steal thought away, man. I'm sorry.
And it seems like people that got all this good quality, like she got natural skin, natural hair, and she can rap. Them be the ones that swear away instead of being the leading example for the women.
Right.
Tell women, you know, wear your natural hair. Make a song about natural hair.
Right.
Make a song, you know what I'm saying?
Where did the MC Lights That's natural.
Cha to the body grind. I remember that.
I might be giving away my age.
Right.
Let me quit.
That's okay. I was in love with MC Light as a youngin'. Something about that mushroom, man. Yeah.
Just that natural beauty, man. You can't. Everybody.
And she's still fine. MC Light's still beautiful.
Yes.
She really is.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, we went to, because we could go on forever and talk about that women's rights and then Queen Latifah and all that. But we going so far with Megan. Okay. Also this week, you know what happened? Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, they got together. They had a wrestling match. They hugged it out.
OMG.
They hugged it out. Total setup to me. I just thought that.
Yeah.
Even when his brother grabbed Mayweather's hat, Mayweather exploded out his "I kill you." I think Floyd just sold that like some WWE stuff. Because you know what, the final number's out, and I'm gonna tell you what. That Deontay Wilder fight, the heavyweight championship fight, it sold 800,000 pay-per-views. How many do you think this little exhibition sold?
Shouldn't have sold 20, but I'm sure it's probably over 100,000.
How many do you think they sold? The last heavyweight championship fight sold 800,000 buys. What do you think this little exhibition?
Probably about 100,000 or less, way more.
A million. They had a million pay-per-view out.
Floyd still driving.
Floyd gets 50% of the
wow.
profit. So just from the fight, just from the fight, Floyd gets 35 million.
Wow.
He gets another 30 million in endorsements because he sold spots on his shorts.
Right.
65 million.
He sold spots on his shorts?
Yeah, sponsorships.
Sponsorship,
Yo, they tried to sneak a drink in on the press conference and Floyd said, hold on, this company didn't pay. He moved that shit. He took it off the table. He said they didn't pay. Oh, Floyd gangster with that money. So I can see why he did it because it was totally set up. Floyd wasn't going to knock him out. He wasn't going to knock Floyd out. They went in, hugged it out. Of course, Floyd, you could see Floyd was better and probably carried him. But if you bought it, I wouldn't buy that shit because I knew. Well, Floyd just walked away with $65 million for 10 minutes.
I mean, if you were a true boxing fan,
Yeah.
Who even thought of that and put them two together?
I don't know. I guess they called Floyd.
well, the other guy's son would have been internet.
YouTube.
Yeah,
he's all over.
He's
it.
a YouTube star. YouTube and a professional fighter.
Yeah.
Right.
But I guess if you set that up right, when Floyd fights his brother, it'll be even bigger.
Yeah.
It'll be even bigger. And people are going to keep buying it because some people want to see Floyd just get his ass kicked. Some people, I knew it was all staged though. It's all. And then at the end, Floyd says, "Oh, he better than I thought." You said it about everybody, Floyd. Stop it. Like that was just some bullshit.
Yeah. Floyd's a smart businessman.
He's a master.
Make you look bad.
Yeah. Because like I said, when that dude snatched his cat, his brother, and he got the cousin and jumped and he gonna kill him. That reminded me of when Floyd fought the Big Show on WWE. It was a great acting job.
Right. No good will he would have lasted 5 minutes with that.
No, not legitimately. You can't do that. Anyway, I got my guest in the house. We're talking about Father's Day. John James. Like I said, you're a girl dad, boy dad. So we're gonna start first, John. Tell everybody where you from, John.
Well, I'm from right here in Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah, I left the city when I was 40.
Oh yeah.
Went out West Coast.
Papa's a Rolling Stone.
Well, I didn't leave anything out there, so.
Okay.
But now I'm back here to stay. Basically, my man usually comes back with my kids.
Ah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I know. Anytime you come in out of town, you hit me up and like, oh wait, the first stop you make is usually to your kids.
Right.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they. It started out being the center of my universe, but then as raising them, although I had a father in the house, I was still growing myself.
Right.
And the older I got, they just became full.
Oh, yeah, that's that shit. So how many kids you got?
I have 6 total.
6.
I'm a stepfather of 2 and 4 biological. But
Okay.
me being around them, and I take pride in that. You would never know. I don't take pride in them calling me a stepdad.
Right.
I
Just
don't
that.
call them my stepchildren.
Right.
They just my kids, and that's just about me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? You and mom, you will accept the kid. Right. The kid is part of the package.
Right.
You might not want to be at the time.
Well, I think part of the problem, I think, when people get into marriages, with me, it was important to me. The marriage moved on. Right. My status in their life didn't change. And I made sure they knew that. Yeah, me and mom's having problems. We think about separate ways, but that don't change for me. And so to this day, it still don't change for me.
Yeah, well, it takes a man to do that. Well, clap that up for you. It takes a real man to do that. So you mentioned even coming back to St. Louis, so you had some distance. You've been a dad that's been close, but you've been a dad that's been far apart. So how did you make the distance work in your daddy duties?
Well, that's the thing. You can't. People can sit there and sell whatever kind of ticket they want to sell. You can't. You're going to be missed, and if you're a real father, you're going to miss. So you can't make that up. That was one of the real things that came to me. Now, I left because I felt like I needed to, but during my time that I was gone, I always said before I left, I was a good father. I was a good man, and I was lousy as a I said coming back, I'm a great father. I'm a good man, and I can be a great husband.
Okay.
So my main focal point is that my 6-year-old said something to me, and I really haven't told too much people, but the last time that I left, and I was just here for a visit, he called me on the phone crying. He said, "Dad, I'm nothing without you. You need to come back home." That actually speeded up the process. I was already planning on it. When he did that, man, I found a job in like 2 months. That was all I needed. So,
yeah. So you got to be willing to have sacrifice.
Right.
Yeah, for the kids.
Right.
Because it's all about the kids. And you live your life, and then you got them coming up. It's like all those other things kind of stop.
Right.
And, you got to let them do what they do. So tell me, what do you enjoy most about being a dad?
You know what? It's not too much I don't enjoy.
Right.
I mean, the better question. Well, I enjoy everything.
Yeah.
I enjoy them growing up, from toddlers to, like my 6-year-old really trying to maneuver and find his way in kindergarten, dealing with people. My daughter, my youngest daughter is 20. And she's, out on her own, doing all things, going through the growing pains of having just to have,
Right.
moving on from being up under mom, dad care to I gotta take care of this myself, and grandfather as well. So it's like my oldest son, seeing him doing his own thing, got his own house, own family,
Okay.
I love it all.
Ain't it different though when you see you trip off how much cooler your kids are than you were?
I found out how lame I was.
He's like, damn, my kids kind of cool. I'm not that damn cool.
Now they definitely more outgoing than I was.
Yeah.
I don't know where they got this from. I said that must be what they got me from.
I remind them, that hurt goes, all that good hurt you got, all this. I had all that box too. I had all that. Over the years though, it's starting to go. So it's hereditary.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, you just look down, you say, damn, my kid's cool as hell.
Yeah.
I wasn't that damn cool. I mean, I did alright.
Right.
But they doing alright. Like,
yeah, my oldest son, coming up, he talked, but he didn't talk a lot. And it's like, to see him and the man he's grown into, because we've had our battles, with any father and son, they had battles, but to sit back and watch him and how he is with my grandson and the woman he's with and stuff like that,
right.
I mean, I sit back and smile because although we went a different route, still come to the same conclusion. He's a good man, a good father. And that's all we can really ask for.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
That's all you can ask for, just being a good person. What did you see the difference was in, like, maybe raising a boy and raising a girl? What's the big difference? What's the alerts? You gotta watch out for out here.
I think, that toddler stage coming up to before they hit kindergarten is really start to figure out it's pretty much the same. They just, daddy is just Superman. Nobody can beat daddy. Nobody can do anything that, my daughter, my younger daughter had it the worst. Anytime her mother said something to her, it was always my daddy said. So it's like you can't trump what my daddy says. I mean, I really had to try and deprogram her about that because I used to get some calls while I was at work. I get some calls while I was at work. Look, you don't need to say something.
Right.
Every time I tell her to do something, she say, "Well, my daddy said." And so I really.
My daddy said I didn't have to do it.
Right.
Yeah, it came down to her about to lose her life a couple times.
Yeah, mom ain't gonna play it.
Right.
Ain't it crazy how you see the boys really gravitate to mom, and the girls gravitate to dad.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, that's my little girl, that's my princess. You can't just haul off and slap her like you do that little boy over there, no kid over there. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because when he mess up, that's your kid. You can slap the hell out of him, but my little girl, no, we gonna just, I got her. She okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's like at that age, at that young age, it's like the boys need the nurturing more, and the girl needs to see the strength. And I don't know why it is like that. But
The boy need the nurturing.
the nurturing from the mother. Yeah. It's like that's what he gravitates to. The nurturing.
Little boys, okay, it's the boys. So be mama's boys makes it all real, like
right.
You don't want to let mama go.
Right.
Daddy,
yeah.
And then little girls, they always seem to have a battle with mom. Like,
right.
It's like both of y'all are battling for dad's attention or affection or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and of course, you a dad, you got a little girl, you gonna be like, she's sleeping in the bed with us.
Right.
You take her 12-year-old ass on the body.
I ain't gonna lie. When Elijah was 2, she was still trying to hide. Nah, we had this. I'm still doing wrong stuff. Go hold up around your brother.
I understand. Sometimes you got to
Girls different though. Girls are different.
How's that girls different?
I would just say girls are different because personally, I know me, I really didn't get that the experience, but I know because I've seen it. Mm-hmm. So with girls, I know they're more of you have to like tell them, okay, you did a good job. Sometimes I feel like when they're a little younger, they'll do something just to hear daddy say, okay, that's correct. You know what I'm saying? They need confirmation from their dad as well. That's something that I see. And I was like, that's crazy because I didn't know that. But even as I got older and I'm just now getting to know my dad, I feel the same way as if I'm 6. Mm-hmm. So it's like dad never leaves with girls.
Daddy approved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we for me, I would say as a woman, I don't care about the other. I care about my dad approval. Like,
okay.
I really do. That's just how I look at it because that's your first love. That is like our first love. Is our dad. So it's like it's going to start there. Anything under him, we need dad to approve.
Okay. So is it a situation where you get to reload your father now? You get to reload everything about him when y'all get together?
What? You can kind of say that. I had an awesome stepdad. I mean, awesome stepdad. He was there since birth. My real dad is just now coming into the picture. I love him. I forgave him. I forgave everything about the situation. But, like we were saying earlier, about the girls, they're different. I still feel like that, and so, I still feel like of the age that I am now. So it's like I don't know will that ever leave though. Because as they get older, I got older sisters I never met, and they the same way. They're like 30, 40, 50, and they act like me.
Yeah, that's cool. See,
You know, so.
And that was something like that. I don't know if I can punch you in the face, so I don't know. Ain't no bitterness though, because
No.
I had a great,
You have to forgive. You have to forgive, because if you don't, when I didn't forgive, it held me back from.
I couldn't do nothing but forgive because I don't know nothing.
When I was raised similar. My dad was awesome, and I mean he was awesome. And when I got old enough and found out, because I didn't find out his intent was for me never to find out. So I didn't really find out he wasn't my biological father until like in 16, 17 years old. So when I got in my, I guess, early 30s, I went looking for him, and I found out for myself that he just wasn't that father. So I look at it as a God. You know, God did.
God did exactly.
Yeah, he gave me exactly what I needed. But so when I went looking for him and found out even at the age of 30 something, he still really didn't want to have too much to do with me. I forgave him right there and then, and I was just thankful because of the simple fact that it just made me reflect back on what I did have, and I got exactly what I needed. To this day, I love him. I've never laid eyes on him. I love him, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is. I don't need him.
Yeah. It's easy for a man to feel like that though, because you were taught to not express your emotions in certain ways. So it's harder for the women. I felt like that for a while, but by being a woman and bottling up, it came out a certain way that it shouldn't have. So I had to release that in order to love a man. I had to release that and give it. You get what I'm saying? But y'all can just be like, I'm cool, dude, gone. You know, I'm gonna be who I am.
I think the only thing I've ever wondered about it was if I had any additional like sisters or brothers. I've never had a brother. I was the youngest, so I was always interested. Is I got a brother out there, or whatever? Because I think that's something that even if you didn't know that, if you had brothers and sisters, I think you guys could probably jail and you be like, okay, Dad did whatever he did or whatever. But
guess what? They tend to not. I did a lot of research on that. They tend to not want nothing to do with you either. You want to know why? Because if you're the youngest, they may come in. You gonna come in a certain way, and they may think, what does she want something? Right. And where did she come from? And then but then they gonna think about something.
I don't know what's so wrong with dog. Is he rich? Let's not there.
Is he rich?
Is he? Because if he poor, what's it?
Right.
You ain't even gotta be. I mean, it don't even have to be nothing. Then they gonna think about, my mommy did this happen when this, kids think like that. Did this person come when daddy was with mommy? Right. Then if I seen where I came in the middle, so I see where my problem is. I'm in the middle of two other sisters, so I'm like, I see why they mad at me, but it's not my fault. Right. You get what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah.
They say you go look, you find what you're looking for. And
okay, I get that. I could have been a cheating baby.
Right.
Hey,
he didn't work.
I'm a cheating baby.
Right. I could have been.
I can't say I know the history with mine.
I never thought about that though.
It's easy to figure out. Just look at how old you are. Ask them where they married, around what time, and I'm like, I was born around the time you were married. So.
2 plus 2 is 4. Oh, okay, I got this.
Yeah, I was married. I was born at 3.
This shit was not working like I thought. I thought it was a happy Father's Day. Now I feel like a basketball. I'm a cheating bastard. I'm a cheat baby. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well,
we're getting found on the bad.
Yeah, good.
Right. Let's get to the good. Let's get to the kid. Now, as a kid, tell me something you want to do. Maybe you had plans to do as a kid, or you had goals, but then when you start becoming a father, you had to change some things. What were some of those things you tried to accomplish?
Growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor.
Dr. John.
Growing up, I always thought I had the mind to be because of the simple fact that I was always curious about everything. I was always
Dr. John, but you turned into Dear John.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, I believe that was removed out of my past because as I got older, when I got about 17 to 18, it was like more evil purposes. I wanted to be a gynecologist. So I think because at that age and the immaturity.
Oh my God.
You want to be a gynecologist?
That was moved out the way. But as I got older,
your ass was gonna get locked up.
right, exactly, exactly. So I was safe. I was safe from that. So.
Right. In your worldly days.
Yeah, as I got older, paying attention to my father. My father did the same type of work for 42 years.
Okay.
And paying attention to him, I wanted to be him. I just started wanting to be him with that. I mean, he worked in plants. And he was good at his job. He knew his job. My father could do his job in his sleep. And I always wanted to sit there and be him but better. So then when I went out and I worked, I made sure I knew my job and the next person's job to the point where it made me supervisor in management and stuff like that. But I always go back to the credit. My father rarely ever missed a day of work. He was a great provider. And so those were the things I wanted to be good at. And in that, I mean, because of the simple fact of looking at him, I think, above all, that I became those two things. I rarely ever call off. Doesn't matter what the situation, and I do everything I can to provide for my kids.
Well, I mean, you do everything you can, so that's definitely commendable. We respect that. But are there things that you probably wish you had done differently as a father?
As a father, the only thing I wish I'd done differently is being a better, so they can see me being a better husband. Okay. I wish I had done that differently.
Just a better example.
Yeah, so just being a better example. I mean, my dad, he called, I called for anything, he's always there, but I wanted them to see me be a better, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I thought I hid a lot of the stuff that I did, but they always see it.
Yeah, kids.
They always say that. I mean, they love me past it. That's part of the thing of loving the person beyond the pain. But I wish I had just been a better husband.
Yeah. I feel that because that kid love, a love you get from a kid is usually like unconditional.
Right.
So no matter what's going on, that kid loves you. So it's these women out here, this that money, whatever. But when that kid look at you, that kid loves you.
Right.
Like that unconditional love is something that's real special. So, are there any regrets that you would have in any of the decisions you made as a dad, or?
I mean, as a father, you always question any type of decision, especially the ones that impact their lives. So you always question it, but I can't say there are any regrets because if I made the wrong decision, it was a learning process.
Right.
And if I made the right decision, I try to step back and let them shine. So I can't really sit there and say that I regretted anything as far as pertaining to my kids. Now leaving nothing to my kids. My kids themselves. I don't regret any decision I made.
Yeah, it's funny because you hear stories now, like as your kids get older, they'll tell you, "Oh, when I was little, I did this." I tell my mom, "Oh, when I was young, I did this." You didn't even know. And you hear them say the same thing.
Right.
And it's kind of like, we already knew what you were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't know. Yes, I did. Like I knew you were being a piece of shit, but. You gotta experience things and you gotta trust your kids to grow and learn, and sometimes you gotta let them bump their head because every generation thinks they know better.
Right.
They doing this, they smarter at it. They really not. It's the same
thing.
It's the same thing.
Because that haircut you got, I had in the 9th grade.
Right.
That all this stuff is. Look, what's so crazy about it? We've been wearing the same Jordan tennis shoes now again.
All over again.
Every pair of Jordans they put out, they already made them.
I still got
Just put a retro on them.
I still got a pair of Jordans from 10, 15 years ago. They bringing out, they paying $2 something for them. And I'm saying because I don't wear my shoes like that, they still look just new.
Look, let me tell you, it's like that series they got on Netflix, the Jordan, and I'm watching the Jordan string together shoes. And this is actually like 96.
Right.
The same damn shoes they sell right now for like. I said, wow. I said, look, that's crazy when you think about it. Michael just making money off. They ain't coming out with a new product. It's the same thing.
Over and over again, he's confidently selling it.
Yes.
Yeah, get on TV, and I'm coming out with the next shoes, the same one.
Yeah.
From 10 years ago.
Hey,
I can tell you the crazy part about it is you ask somebody who Michael is, they don't even know.
they don't really get it.
They don't even know.
They don't get it. But that's why you have to have a thirst for knowledge and things like that. And try to teach kids that. Because some of us, we just don't know and don't fucking want to know. We just want to be willfully ignorant. Ignorant of everything and all things around us, which that shit ain't cool. But so, even talking about that, do you think today's dads have it easier or do they have it harder?
I think they got it hard.
Way harder.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I thought I was going to say easier.
No, I think I had it harder than my father.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I had it, and I think my sons will have it harder than me. And the reason why I sit there and say that is because the love from my father to me that I pass on to my son doesn't change, but the world is changing around.
Right.
And so there are more complicated decisions they have to make than me.
Really?
Yeah, like my father. My father didn't graduate high school or anything like that, but he made sure that I did. So I try to set my kids up to the point where they can go to college and graduate college. And I think because of the way the world is changing, they're going to have to make harder decisions than that. On now that everything is school specific on where you send your kids and moving into the right neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the reason why I don't think it's because of the love. I think it's because the world is changing around.
See, I thought you guys were going to say easy. I didn't. Oh. Well, I got to be wrong on every day. I'm looking at me. Let you make sure I'm wrong on it. Disagree with me. Look, no,
I don't think it's easier. I don't think it's easier at all. Because for one of them, what I said earlier, I mean, I don't want to be an example of, of a person not giving their father a chance, but I'm not going to also lie about how that makes, how it makes a woman or a child feel. Because if you ignore that, it still will affect you. But then the other stuff on the outside, I mean, I just feel like they got it harder because I learned this even being in a relationship with my guy. You go to work, you deal with certain things.
Yes.
As women, we deal with certain things, and then, it's a system that they got put in place to push you guys down. I'm like, and sometimes the government would throw money at a woman and say, hey, this number looks good, but they don't ever know what's behind the paperwork, and it's built to turn a black man down.
Yes.
So that's another way that it's hard because a man can go to work and work 1,000 hours just to get $2. I don't understand that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I lived it, so I know.
No, but that's I mean, that makes it hard, and then it could be a father who literally wants to be in a child life, and love them. But a situation like that would say, well, you know what? I'm good. You have to actually grow up and mature and still go through that. And actually still want to be a father. Regardless of what's going on with me, I'm still going to be there.
Yeah.
So.
You have to be there. Like, that's just the important part of it. You really want to bring something with you, but if you can at least be there to show the kid, hey, I'm still trying, I'm here, we can talk.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, because sometimes the financial benefit of other things, of course you want to do that, you want to progress, but sometimes just being there is like the biggest thing.
That's it, just be there.
Yeah. Because you know what? Because I ain't had no father just to be there. I was not saying that. Now I'm trying to make me emotional.
No.
I'm not going to do it.
Just be there.
She got her dad redoing them. You got your dad up there. I'm like, yeah.
I mean,
my dad probably cheated on his wife to get me.
We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that one. We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that. Because I went to the reunion and the wife was there.
Oh,
that's it.
What? Oh.
She was there.
Like, oh, it's her.
It's her.
You see,
I see no.
Right. She see you cute.
She was there. Oh, you just so cute. I said, oh, hey, how you doing?
It was her baby.
Probably. Wait, you know how y'all women get. There's a whole other conversation for him later.
Lucky I'm God feared now.
Right. I found out about this 15 years ago.
Well, that's a whole other thing, though. You was at the reunion with the.
It wasn't like a reunion, but my grandmother, she had passed, and they was like, oh, well, we might as well get everybody together. So my biological dad came, his ex-wife came, the sisters came, everybody came. And the secret baby sitting at the table. I'm sitting at the table like this with my ribs.
Right, that's some almost Christmas stuff, right?
But that's my daddy though. Happy Father's Day.
Right. Oh yeah, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, I know about the cousin. I've been killing myself after.
Oh my God.
They was laughing. They talking about some cousin. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna go get grandma.
You want to come sit with us?
You made this really be entertaining.
Yeah.
Don't let her go get grandma. You don't want her to go get grandma. Like that.
Wow.
But that's cool. That's well, it is what it is.
Right.
That would have been funny though.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had her cool.
I need to take my camera everywhere.
You do?
Man, I'm like, where my camera when I need it? My daddy's here, everybody here.
Right. Them family pictures. Woo.
I tried to get the wife in one, she wasn't going. I said, this just be a happy family.
Everybody looking at them later trying to match up.
Trying to see who you should look like there.
Right.
That's nasty.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Trying to figure out which one I should really look like.
Right. Dirty dog.
Only thing he can do is sell the ring.
That's it. Let me see my grandbabies. That's all it was.
Yeah, at least he back in there and y'all doing y'all thing. That's what's important. But let me ask you about this. Since she had that surprise, what's been the most surprising thing to you about being a dad or fatherhood?
Actually, the most surprising thing about me as far as being a father is even when I was living in Oregon, how much my kids picked up from me when I was here and how much they act like me when I was young.
Oh,
That was a shocker to me. I mean, talking to my 6-year-old and just listening to some of the stuff he do, I was like, well, he haven't seen me in a couple, just been around me like that for a couple of years. And it's just amazing, just with little conversations, exactly how much my 20-year-old daughter, my 25-year-old daughter, just some of the stuff that they do.
Like you.
Right, and then my son, like I said before, the son, we had battles. But the way he raised his son and structured his house is so much like what I did. You always think,
we not listening. We really listening.
Right.
What's it? Say, boy, look at you like your goddamn daddy. Right. Boy, look at God damn, I'm really over there. Goddamn daddy. Yeah, it is funny how they really emulate you. Like, I've seen little cousins like they dad not here, they out of town, and they're like, damn, you act just like your daddy. Yeah. Not in a good fucking way.
Right.
Yeah, but that's crazy because that is true.
Yeah, that was the most surprising part to me. It's like I used to hear it all the time with my dad, and then so for it to be said to me because when I was little, it used to be like I'm my own person. But now that when they say it, I take pride in it because that's how much I love my dad. And it's like they do that now. Where they sit there and say they act like you act like your dad, they'll tell you in
Oh yeah, right. They talk about daddy.
Right.
They talk about daddy.
Daddy can't do nothing wrong. But you know what? I love that part though. I love it though.
Yeah, it's still ain't. Those we keep with a level of naivety, it's cool.
Yeah.
Daddy can't do nothing wrong.
Exactly.
You're right. I get that. I understand. But what is that about your kids that really make you brag on them? Like, oh yeah, that's your boy right there. So it really just make you proud and stand out to you.
With them and with all of them, minus the two young ones, but the ones that are older.
Oh, you got a good range.
Yeah, it's almost like two sets. I had,
two sets.
like 28 to 20.
Right, the first set, and then you got
63. Yeah, so it's like I started all over again.
Right.
But the main thing that makes me brag on them is just the simple fact of how I've seen a lot of kids out there, how respectable they are.
Oh, right, okay.
And I've seen kids out there, and I've seen some of the stuff they say, and I've seen something, and I'm never gonna sit there and say they do everything right, never.
Right.
But they still maintain a certain amount of respect for their mother, their father, you know, and other elders and stuff like that. And that be the thing I rag on the most because of I try to spend a lot of time making sure that they eat because I seen it coming up and I was just like, man, that's just crazy.
You get a long way just with respect to people.
Right.
And maybe some things you don't know, but because people like, you know, what my son used to do, even in, he's in kindergarten, the teacher would always say how memorable he was, he was opening doors, he was doing this, oh, he's such a joy bearer. But in the meantime, the whole time, he ain't doing no homework.
Right.
That's my son right there.
Yeah, I would say, like, he's snowing you. I mean, he's in the perfect fucking gentleman. He started opening doors and he fell in class. What the hell? Like, you know, your
That's
son.
my son right there. But he's straightening it up. That's him right there.
Yeah. Like,
He's always smiling, such good personality.
right.
But he's not doing anything wrong.
You like him so much, he's going to repeat. He'll be back with you next year. You on that board. You believe that? Like, he just found a way to slow the system. And you, instead of being, you want to be aggressive and to say, no, you got to do your work. You're like, oh, we opened the door.
At a young age.
That's how them teachers are.
Man.
He's such a gentleman.
Oh, right. Yeah. I say, he ain't that fucking cute. Shit, that's some bull.
Yeah, that's what I go through with Kai right now. The teacher always says, I can hold an adult conversation with him. Like, yeah, but wait till you start.
Why?
Yeah, wait till you start stuff you say. Like, he'll sit there and you tell him something now, and he'll be like, at 6. Well, that makes sense. How does that make sense to you?
Right.
Explain that to me.
You sit there agreeing with some bull. You don't even know what?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm waiting to have that conference with him. He's so intelligent, but his responses are questionable.
That's
Like this generation of kids, they've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this stuff don't even be making sense.
Yeah.
That's teaching you. I tell them they'll do alone.
Right.
What you gonna do? Yeah. You open the door and give you homework. That's what you do. I mean, they just know the teacher bad. They go in, nobody likes me. Oh, God, nobody like they love you. But I ain't do my homework today. I couldn't do it. I was just depressed. You're 4 years old. What are you talking about?
Right. I mean, like, well, you can skip recess and get over there and do it now.
Right.
He's 4 years old, talking about he's stripped.
Right. What kind of louse on the parent shit is this?
I would have started laughing and just said, we just gonna call your mama.
Right. You would have been stressed for a whole different reason then.
Yeah, then they call you about crazy shit. I mean, they called me and said my son said the teacher was ugly. Now, why are you calling me about that? I said, is she ugly? He just expressed himself.
You wanna know what's funny? When kids get in trouble for stuff, you know some of the stuff they be saying be true,
Oh, you
but
know
you still
it.
gotta okay. You still gotta whoop
You
them.
in trouble for this?
Right, because you know your kid. You know him. So you know he said it. You know,
I know my daughter, she had it bad. I mean, when you sit there saying the shit, be like, real? Ain't like I lied. What am I in trouble for?
Can you feel bad for whooping them?
Right.
yeah, I said he ain't lying. She was ugly. But that ain't what you supposed to say.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
just tell them to say something else, but don't whoop them. Especially if she is ugly. But if she's not ugly, then it's coming from a different place. But then you got a question, do my child even know what ugly is?
Right.
These days, I think they do.
No, kids do. They've been here before.
Right.
And I guess, like my son called his teacher a bitch in kindergarten. I said, that's what his mom taught me.
That wouldn't be
Yeah, I said, that wasn't me. I said, please don't call me. Call mom.
That comes from that side.
Right. But that's, kids are funny like that. But you realize that, like you said, coming up, how much they act like too much stuff. Because I can see myself doing some stuff.
Right.
Trying to get out of work.
And teachers nowadays, they had
That's like
more of a
grab
range
you up.
of doing things than they do now.
Yeah, they can drag you up out of collar. Now they got cameras on them.
Right,
No,
right.
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't touch them, child.
Right. They even got the schools now where you looking in on the class, the little kids, you can watch the class all day. I couldn't even be no teacher. Because I've been through something over that camera for a minute, get a kid up.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know what the hell happened.
Bernie Mac, head of the throat.
Hey.
Head of the throat.
I said, I don't know what happened to that camera.
But it's getting so nice sometimes the kids are coming to school act better at school than they do at home.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what? People, I'm a little cold, but people know who to act a certain way with. And kids learn that quick.
That's even with mom and dad at home.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
I know my boy, when I'm around, he don't do as much.
Right.
But like when I was living in Oregon, I would get calls and he's doing this, he's doing that. Then soon as he gets me on the phone, everything changes.
Yeah, because you know they mischievous. You know they out there. Like I said, you kind of know what your kids will and won't do because you know what you will and won't do.
Exactly.
And I know I probably was a little mischievous. I was quiet in front of everybody, but you know, you do little things.
What that little mischievous
Well, you was different. I was a kid for a long time.
I be thanking God that they didn't do the stuff that I did. And the thing about it was, the crazy part is I got away with it. So it's just like, no, I can't have them doing that.
God is good.
Yeah, she did all the time.
My daughters was what changed me with dealing with women.
Oh yeah.
I heard that from men.
When I finally had one and I thought about some of the stuff that I was doing, I would kill a man to get my daughter.
Did your
that
daughter
way.
the same?
Yeah. But let's see, that's what I'm saying about that Megan Thee Stallion. You can't call my daughter a hoe. You know what her name is.
But is she okay with it? Daddy should be okay with it.
No.
Yeah,
What if you get mad and then she be like, no, Daddy, it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
As soon as I get through fucking him up, I'm fucking you.
I was gonna look at her mama and say, fuck her. I ain't gonna do it then, mama. Go and get her. Get in all them years I told you, leave her alone. Take it out on her hand right now. Let's show this hoe.
Go back there and fuck that kid up.
Right. Like, I can't get used to my daughter being called a hoe or a bot or.
Cardi B just as bad.
Yeah, she is, but.
And she's a wife.
But she didn't come out and say it on national,
She didn't say she's taking it back.
Yeah,
she just kind of like I am a hoe.
She may feel that way, but it ain't in black and white. But she said that, so that's
Well,
how
her
she
videos say that.
Yeah.
What's that video? WAP?
Wow.
Oh,
With that, yeah.
you know, her crazy.
You
part
don't
about
need to say the word to show that you
it-
are.
Her crazy part about it, I just seen that video like that.
Yeah, and she's a wife.
Ain't that crazy? Like that.
A
Oh.
couple weeks after that, the husband was like, "Oh no." He was like, "No." He couldn't take that one. He was like, "Oh."
Did you went too far?
You know what I always say when you remember when Halle Berry was in Monsters Ball
Mm-hmm.
and she got a little nasty. When she got with that white man and nothing like that, little bummy looking
I
Billy Bob.
still say that scene is
I
questionable.
never looked at Halle Berry ever the same. I can't.
What is
And I
Halle
still
Berry
think
doing?
Urban A broke up with her cousin then. I think he's
Urban ain't had a sex addiction. That's why they broke up.
First of all, black people, we don't have sex addictions.
That's normal.
That's normal, right?
That's
We just like to eat.
That's
No, he had to go to rehab or something though.
No,
Because he's trying to
that's
keep
because
happy.
people
Yeah.
put that in their
Pressure.
head. He needed to
Oprah
rehab.
got to talk to that stuff.
No, you just need a wife that's gonna roll with you. That's all.
That's all. Like Kelly said, when I come in, tap me on the shoulder,
Right.
I roll over. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, that man didn't have no sex addiction.
Now
You know what? He probably didn't, but Halle Berry, she just, I don't know, she always been really pretty, but I just don't know what's going on with her.
I just never looked at the same since Monsters Ball. I couldn't. I was just.
I looked at the movie, I was like, whatever.
I'm sorry. That whole scene right there, I tell you all the time. I question
Isn't it that man that be in all the movies that's like always smoking and
Billy
doing
Bob,
stupid
yeah.
stuff and just cursing?
And then he was all racist on her and shit.
And
Like,
she loved it.
I think that was the highlight of his career. I still say something now for real. That was-
Yeah,
that-
that chemistry through the cameras, like you guys really had to be doing something. Yeah.
we talk about fathers.
Halle Berry got a daddy. We're not talking about Halle Berry daddy though.
Where her daddy raised her.
Yeah. Who raised Halle Berry to mess with me
I
like
don't know who her
that?
daddy is, though. Was her mom white? Her dad black?
Look, we just
Or
know
her
they mixed
dad
with a
white,
whole bunch
her
of
mom
stuff.
black?
Here's a question. After daddy seen that movie, do you think he would agree with her being called a thought or
Mm-mm.
After that movie, I might have to call her a hoe. My girl's a hoe. She obviously a hoe. Get that hoe an Oscar.
That's what she get. She got an Oscar for being that.
Yeah, she sure did. Like, man, I can't.
And we the prettiest women. It's just they mess it up for pretty. You know, it's just like we be the prettiest women. What are you doing?
They do.
Mess it up for the actual beautiful women that you want to take life seriously. She on camera doing stuff like this.
Yeah,
right.
Just date ugly women. Can't go wrong.
Date ugly women?
Can't go wrong.
Oh, they only matter when it's dark.
You can't say that.
I had an uncle.
You can't say that.
I had an uncle. God rest his soul. But when he used to tell me when I was younger, he said, when the lights go off, there's all pink in the middle.
Hey, I guess. You have little problems. It's like you have
That's not
problems.
that. I believe that's not true because I feel like it go both ways for the male and female. You got to be able to wake up if it's some you consider yourself being happy that you can actually look at and enjoy looking. You can't just ugly. Oh, okay.
Right.
No.
Well, no. I mean, people's terms of beauty these days, and that's one of the things that I especially want to instill with these last two boys. It can't always be about facial and what you see.
You have to
your beauty has to go. Yeah,
it has to be on the inside too, but the ugly girls are starting to act like the pretty girls. That's the problem.
Well, that's true.
They starting to walk around like we look just like.
Hey,
slow down, pump your brakes.
Oh, sis.
Pump your brakes, ugly.
One question I got.
Oh, that's dirty. You said
But why do girls act crazy when a man comes up and trying to holler at them and talk about how beautiful they are? I don't know anything else about you, so what you want me to speak on?
That's all I see.
What you mean they act crazy?
Well, you go up there, you try to talk to a woman, and you expound on how beautiful he is, trying, just trying to get, just get in, icebreaker or whatever, but then they'll be like, "That's all you see? I don't know you. So what else am I supposed to say?"
I mean, you just approach the wrong woman.
That's what I saw.
Because there's some women that's beautiful, they know they're beautiful, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm beautiful, hey, how you doing, da-da-da. But then it's those ones that, either they've been scarred or something, I don't know, they're just ignorant. Their responses, if I get that, I'll just like, okay, have a nice day, bye. Because I wouldn't even want to deal with you, I wouldn't even want to deal with you with your response like that.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, you look crazy.
Yeah, that's a sign of craziness. That means you're going to probably question you about everything you say.
Right.
That's all I see. That's what I started seeing. So if you got something to say about
So if she get her toes done, that's cute. That's all you see is pretty feet.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I didn't even see you before today. What was I supposed to say?
Like, did I know you?
I was like, hey, how you doing?
Did we have a bad relationship?
I
wouldn't even tell you how you look, because some of these women, you tell them how they look, they be go to their head. I wouldn't even tell you how you look until I actually get serious with you.
So I get that little alien look.
Look.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's. I don't know what to say about it. Y'all got these folks out here. They need some dads in their lives. They in their lives or something, because something's going on. But the last time I wanted to ask you, if you look back in hindsight, scale of 1 to 10, everything you know, everything the kids got going on, you got going on, how would you rate yourself as a dad? How would you rate yourself? Give yourself a Father's Day gift.
That is. I mean, if you're looking at everything that you did, it's a hard question for a dad because you.
Damn that, I'm a 10.
I mean,
I may not be, but never see it.
I think my kids were 17. I really think. I think they were 17.
I ain't say my kids gonna say that. I'll see.
Well, yeah. I honestly, like I said in the beginning, I think I'm a great father. I really do. I'm never gonna do everything right, but because I go hard, 110% for him, I think I'm a great father.
That's good. I think I've learned to be better father, especially somebody who didn't have a father.
Right.
I've learned to be a better father, so I'm able to not be so emotional or quick to judge on things, because I realized a lot of things that I did in the past, and even coming up, a lot of things that they didn't understand. They understand now because they go through their own relationships, their own things with friends and finances and things like that. So they start to look back and say, Yeah, that's why Daddy acting like 10.
Daddy said they want your friend, they want your friend.
You got to let them start to have experiences. And I think as you get older, you start to enjoy fatherhood on that side of it too, because you know that they start to go through stuff or they went through stuff. So you ain't got to even explain it no more.
Well, I tell you what, going through the first set, it surely helped me with the second set. It's helped me out a lot.
But when they grow up and they got to pay rent, car notes, this and that, then they start to understand a little more what you was saying.
Yeah. When they asked to get a job at 16, let them.
Yeah.
But wait, ain't it crazy that when they get older, the kids always do think that the daddy can bail them out anyway?
Yep, I do. I do.
I don't know. You the secret kid.
Soon as you get like this, I need, can you help me?
So, okay, let me ask you. So what do you do if you call dad and the wife answer the phone?
The white answer.
The white answer.
I'm just gonna be like, hey.
You gotta talk to my dad.
And I'm like, hey, how you doing?
The test ain't back yet. The test ain't back yet. Don't say
she shouldn't be answering this phone.
I'm like, why are you answering the phone? I thought you guys were divorced. Like, what's going on? I think she came to get back with him, though. So, I mean, I don't know.
Who gave you this number? Y'all dirty, though.
Can I speak to my daddy? Can I speak to him?
And you gotta have a little more conversation than that.
And she gonna be like, get your daughter.
Right.
Like, hey, how you doing? You know, such and such. You gotta say something. Then like, can I speak to my dad?
No, I'm gonna be nice, but I'm gonna tell you the whole thing of a situation like that. That's why I said be careful if you want to know, because even if you are being nice, that's still not enough. I done been nice. I done did this. I done invited people. Like, since I found out that's my real dad, I kind of been in like family doing certain things to try to come together, and it's like, well, I mean, if anybody don't want to get to know me, they're missing out. You know, this.
Right.
They're blessed. They missing out on.
Do you think that if you had like a heart-to-heart with her, would that help the relationship overall with you, your dad, and her?
I don't really want to talk to her. I want to talk to my dad.
We tried, man.
Daddy, baby, I love it.
This is definitely Daddy's daughter.
Daddy, baby, I love it.
We tried to fix this.
I don't want to talk to her. She's not going to understand. Now, one thing, I came in the middle, so she's not going to understand nothing.
She said, nope, just want to talk to my dad.
Just want to talk to my dad. No, you're not even going to get it.
No, I ain't mad. That's how I want my girl. Just for my dad.
I don't know. What's wrong with y'all? Happy Father's Day, y'all. Father's Day coming up. Don't forget Father's Day. We know Father's Day. Never get the love that Mother's Day do. I don't know why.
You know what?
I'm not really bitter about it.
Yeah, hey, Mother's got Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas.
We get birthdays.
Yeah, birthday, Christmas has to be way better than Father's. Right, you know, May Day parades. By the way,
It really don't matter.
yeah, we get one day a year.
Yeah. Be lucky we might get a steak next week or something.
Right.
I look forward to it anyway. I want to see if I get anything. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, when my kids, when it comes to Father's Day or Christmas, they always ask, what do I want? I tell them all the time, I can buy whatever I want. You want to what you want? They'll give me. And they say, well, I just want your time. Spend the day with me. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
They can't even get that right. They act like that's the hardest thing in the world. I spend this long with them.
Time is
Yeah, as long as you're a good father, that's a good enough gift to me, though.
Yeah.
As long as you know and it's true, you're not out. I don't like that. You don't father. I'm a good father, but you're actually not a good father. That's like, stop it. But if it's Father's Day and you know you're a good father, I feel like that's a gift. You know, to actually know it, to be it, and be in your child's life. The gift is just a reminder that I'm dad. But
Yeah, because you got to take it. Because you know what they say. Mama's baby, daddy's baby.
I love my baby boy.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. John, we thank you for coming through. Sammy is here. We'll be back. We're going to have another guest in. We'll have Sammy back. Hey, y'all, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. With Bankxx. We out this bitch. That was cool.
Yeah, bro.
That was cool.
I think I was a little nervous.
Yeah. God, to these fathers, boy. Okay. Megan, I think Megan need a new father.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff she needs. A little bit too late. She's about 30 now, isn't she?
Yeah, she's 27, 28.
Too late